Okay. In October, when I sat with you, I asked about removing my resistance to meditation. And it was like grabbing an electric fence. I ran with that for months, and I meditate every day, nearly every day, with no problems, and I love it. I feel like the piece for me at this moment is segment intending my days.
That is the topic of the discussion today, because here you are in this segment, and your inner being is in the segment with you. And you want your perspective of this segment to match your inner being's perspective of this segment. That's it. That is the work. Now we want you to all go home. That is the singular work that you feel about this segment, like your inner being feels about this segment, that you're present in this segment. You're not calibrating to an earlier time or to another place or to something else. You are in this segment deliberately activating the marbles in your bag so that they are a match to the marbles that your inner being has activated in the bag right now, relative to whatever it is you're focused upon. When you walk into another room, new segment. When somebody that you don't know sits down next to you, new segment. When the telephone rings, new segment. Really, when you're thinking a thought about something, new segment. In other words, it's new segment, new segment, new segment. But if you are intent on being a really good calibrator segment by segment, then you got control of your point of attraction.
So it seems to me, it's like I've got the meditation. I love it. It's juicy. It sets...
Well, what the meditation does, you see, when you quiet your mind in a segment, so this is my segment of meditation. So I'm going to quiet my mind. When I quiet my mind, I make inactive this bag of marbles. So the only bag of marbles that is active is the one that my inner being knows about. And so now that's why I feel better. The cells of my body are benefiting. Everything is in alignment with what I want. When I meditate and I render inactive this bag of marbles, which is what meditation does, then what? I'm all empowered. Because I'm the only one that can put anything in the way of everything that I've become, and I'm meditating, so I'm not putting anything in the way. But you can't be in a state of meditation all the time. You got to get hold of this bag of marbles, because when you're walking around, your ego needs to be awake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Listening to you, I feel like there's a piece of me that's like, I've meditated, I've done enough. And instead, I feel like the next step is...
Well, that's just dumb.
It is. It is.
That's like saying, yesterday I didn't drink while I was driving, and that should be enough. From now on, I'm going to drive without a license. I'm not going to get my registration renewed, and I'm going to be drunk every time. Because when I was in my 20s, I didn't do any of that. We know that sounds ridiculous, but that's what you just said to us. You're trying to say, law of attraction, don't respond to this moment in time and my relationship with my inner being now. Respond to yesterday when I meditated, or earlier when I meditated. And the law of attraction isn't going to say words to you. It's not like that kind of a consciousness. It's like the law of gravity is. But if it could speak, it would say, you got to be kidding. What you did some other time has nothing to do with your point of attraction now, unless you do it so often that it's what's in your bag of marbles, and so it's just second nature to you to do it.
That's what I'm looking for, is the eagerness to plan my day every day after the stillness and the quiet and the emptiness.
Here's something that we would really like you to know. Most people don't know this, and it'll be helpful for you to get a handle on this. The existence of your vortex, which is this vibrational gathering, when you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. When something goes wrong, you ask for it to be different. If you're sick, you ask for wellness. If you feel unstable, you ask for more stability. So you've been asking for all of this, and when you ask it as given, that'd make a good title for a book. And your inner being is focused there and only there. That is what currently is. That's the segment that your inner being lives in. So what we want you to hear is that you've planned. You've planned. You have planned. And your inner being knows, oh, okay, so this is how this all fits together. you're really going to like this. It's going to make perfect sense to you. Sometimes Esther thinks, well, I should plan long range, and I should plan medium range, and I should plan short range, and I should plan right now. And we say to her, you've already planned. Why not leave the order of business to your inner being who's a lot smarter than you are? Now, we don't mean that. We're trying to be funny. But when we say to you that your inner being knows where you are in relationship to everything you want, not only does your inner being know where you are in relationship to everything you want, your inner being knows what your likelihood of taking the next step is in relationship to everything that you want. So you don't want to be forcing yourself to do things for the sake of planning. So this is the part that we meant earlier. You've planned. It's in your vortex. And so if just for a little while you will let your singular intention be to calibrate to your inner being, to calibrate to your inner being, to calibrate to your inner being. Focus on whatever it is that feels good. If it's fun and you like it, focus on that. If it's someone you adore, focus on that. If it's something lovely to eat, focus upon that. If it's some good feeling, anything, focus on that, 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 so that you are like this with your bags of marbles, your inner being. And we promise you, you'll start getting impulses. Esther said she just sort of kind of figured this out just really recently, that she gets impulses all day long and often says, oh, I'll get to that. And then it occurred to her, wait, if I'm getting this impulse, if I'm getting this feed from my inner being, that means that my inner being knows that there's something of value along this path for me to do this now. Something that seems as silly as, you know, that cup that you got from McDonald's yesterday that you dumped out and left on the counter in the garage. Go get that and put it in the trash. Oh, it's trash day. Or, oh, there's someone at my back gate that's pushing a button that doesn't work. They need to tell me about something because I've got a sprinkler that's leaking into the street. So they're pushing a button and it doesn't work. And you can't get that block of thought, Esther, because you are so mad about that sprinkler system not working that you can't receive that from us. You've got that all blocked off. But the cup that you left on the counter, you can get that, which makes you put it in the garbage can that makes you look at the gate, which makes you see your neighbor with his hat on. There are thousands and 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 thousands of pieces of evidence like that, where an impulse that you received that you just discounted because you weren't thinking about it like it is. You weren't saying, oh, my inner being who knows who I am and what I want in relationship to everything that is important to me is giving me this idea. And if it doesn't feel world changing, later. So Esther just decided, when I get an impulse, I'm going to do it. It's kind of like your dog taking you for a walk. Sometimes you just need to get up out of your chair and go somewhere. Your inner being knows you're about to send a blood clot to your brain. We're being dramatic. We're just saying there are all kinds of things that really, 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 really are helpful to you in these segments.